Hi y'all, Connie here. So today I want to talk about post stitches. We're going to start with front post double crochets, but I will also touch on back post double crochets a little bit later on. So here I have just a couple rows of double crochets, and I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to work just a chainless double crochet to get this started, simply because it's my preference. It gives me something meatier to work into when I get back to it at the end of the next row. All right, so we've got 2 double crochets here at the beginning of our row. 1, 2, and now into our third stitch here, we're going to do our post stitch. So instead of working into the top, so right here, like we did in the last one, I'm going to yarn over, just like a regular double crochet, but I'm going to come down here and I'm going to work around this post of the stitch. So this is a front post double crochet, so we're going to insert our hook from the front to the back and then back out the front again, yarn over, pull up a loop, so bring it back around to the front there, yarn over, pull through 2 loops twice, just like you would with a regular double crochet. Okay, and so now that double crochet is worked around the post of the stitch instead of into the top of it. Let's do it again. Yarn over, insert your hook from front to back, and then out the front again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, let's do another regular double crochet. So I'm going to work into the top of the stitch, right, under those top 2 loops. Standard double crochet right here. And let's do a couple more front post double crochets. So here's the stitch we just worked into. Here's our next stitch. Yarn over, insert a hook from front to back, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 twice. One more time. Yarn over, insert hook from front to back around that post, yarn over, pull that loop around to the front again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and we'll finish out with 2 more standard double crochets, and then we'll take a look. All right, so here they are. We've got 2 regular double crochets, 2 front post double crochets, a regular double crochet, 2 front post double crochets, right? So we get that texture popping out on the front. But now look what happens when we switch to the back. We've got an entirely different sort of texture here. So these front post double crochets now look like back post double crochets because they're popping out to the back. And then we see the tops of the double crochets that we worked around popping out to this side. So we get some really cool texture with post stitches. But let's do some more front post stitches here. So again, I'm going to do just a chainless double crochet to start this. And one more. And now, so here is the body or the post of that stitch. It's kind of hiding back here behind the tops of the double crochets from the previous row. All right, so front post. Oops, split the yarn. Front post, and then we'll do the next one worked into the top of that double crochet right there, and then we'll do 2 more here, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and so see that pulls those back to the front again, and then you've got these are now popping out on the other side. So if we do another row of that, then you're going to get this really highly textured pattern that shows up every other row, right? And a lot of times when you see post stitches in a pattern, they won't be worked with only front post stitches or only back post. You'll work both of them together to make cables or raised lines or something like that. But I think it's important to see how it would look if you didn't do that, if you just worked front posts on top of what now appear to be back posts, right? So let's take a look on these last 2 here. I'll show you what it looks like to do a back post double crochet, okay? So we've did the first 2 with front posts, and you start to see that pattern coming out. And so these will pop forward on the other side. But if we were to do back posts, instead of going here, we would come back to the back. So see, I kind of turn it upside down, and you go from the back to the front and out the back again. You yarn over, pull up a loop, and you complete your stitch on the back side. Let's do another one. Flip it over, and then you're working that on the back side, right? And then what happens is those, the front post and the back post will sort of stack up on top of each other. So instead of alternating like this does here, they stack up on top of each other, and you get these lines of texture on this side. So you can see the difference there. Me focus, please. And so this is a front post worked into a front post, but you're turning rows, so it's flipping every time. And this is a back post double crochet, what we just did, worked around a front post double crochet. And if you stack them up with the post stitch happening on the same side, that's when you get these lines. So post stitches are a great way to play with texture. It can be confusing sometimes when you're following a pattern, like a basket weave pattern, until you've done it a few times and you kind of see how the pattern comes together. It can be a little bit confusing because, like I said, you make these front post stitches on this side, but then they look like back post stitches on this side. So if you're working on a pattern and it doesn't seem to make sense, do yourself a little swatch and just work through it, follow the instructions exactly as written, and see if that helps you visualize how it comes together. All right, well, I hope that helped you understand front post stitches, and I will see you next time. Bye.